Alright, what is up my friends? Welcome to another Monday video here on CoolStuffInc.com. I am Jim Davis. We're playing some Standard on Arena, and as we approach the end of this Standard format, War of the Spark is on the horizon, and it's looking pretty crazy. 37 Planeswalkers. The new Planeswalkers are cool too. I like the static effects. I like the not just following the, 5 mana Planeswalker, +1 draw a card, -3 kill something, -8 win the game. So happy to see a little more diversity and interesting designs in the Planeswalkers. But enough about War of the Spark. We're not there yet, and we're still here. And in the tail end of a Standard format, things become a little solved is maybe a strong word, but you know the format at the end of the format. So we're going to branch out a little bit and experiment with the deck that never really took off too much. It was always in the fringes. A mono white vampire deck was played at one of the earlier Pro Tours when the Ixalan first came out, and then actually a Mardu Vampires deck did well at the last Pro Tour, splashing for Judith. And I tried that deck on stream. Splashing really, really difficult, but the core of taking the vampire cards and adding in a little of what makes mono white aggro successful was pretty cool. And of course, those cards are the cards that we're borrowing from mono white are essentially Venerated Loxodon and Unbreakable Formation, definitely a standout from the new set, and Conclave Tribunal. So very often the early vampire lists were trying to jam in a bunch of Sanctum Seekers and a bunch of Mavrein Fains and trying to be a little too tribal, when the reality is that Venerated Loxodon and Unbreakable Formation are just really, really good cards in any aggressive go wide type deck. So what do we get for playing vampires, over White Weenie? We get Dusk Legion Zealot, little Elvish Visionary action, always good in a tribal deck. We get some extra removal spells in Cast Down that White Weenie doesn't really have. We get Legion Lieutenant. 2-mana Lord is obviously awesome, as Lord of Atlantis has shown us. Sanctum Seeker is a good curve topper. I don't think you can go too hard on this card, but it is quite powerful. If you play this attack with 2 or 3 vampires, it's a pretty big swing. So don't want to play too many of his cards, but it is very good. And then Midnight Reaper is not a vampire, honorary vampire here, but just a really powerful card in any creature deck as a way to help circumvent removal spells, as a way to allow you to kind of attack with your entire team and not worry about losing a creature or two, because you can just keep drawing cards and drawing cards. So it's a nice little card draw engine. So also in the sideboard we get 4 copies of Duress, which is a huge one. The White Weenie decks very often splash blue for cards like Negate, Spell Pierce, and Disdainful Stroke out of a sideboard as a way to beat the control decks. Going black, we have access to Duress, which is one of the better options, of course. Very cheap, easy to cast on curve. On turn 3, you can just play a 2-drop and a Duress, take their sweeper, and get them. Sideboard-wise, we also have extra cast down, Mortify, a little extra removal. Demystify, very good against the Wilderness Reclamation decks. And then another page out of the White Weenie book in Ajani, Adversary of Tyrants, against control decks and mid-rangey decks. You got to grind a little bit. 3 Lyra against mono red and mono blue and other aggro decks, and then 2 Champion of Dusk in your slower, grindier matchups. If this comes into play and draws even just 1 card, it's still a pretty good card against control decks, and if it draws 2 or 3 cards, that's excellent. So, deck seems like a lot of fun. Good way to kind of go out in style for the current Standard format. We're going to play it in 5 matches in ranked, and we'll see how we do here. It's Monday. Everyone's got to wake up and get ready to go. So let's ride. Reminder, if you're watching this video on YouTube, there is an accompanying article, as always, on CoolStuffInc.com. You're going to want to check out for sure. So make sure you hop on over there if you haven't seen that. Alright, I think we're going to play first. Ooh, awkward. That is tough. 2 tap lands. And realistically, this hand is very good otherwise. You have 2 Lords, a landing, a removal spell, a Zealot. If we draw any untapped land in our first draw step or two, this hand gets a lot better. And then even if we don't, we can at least just play Legion Zealot on turn 3. Oh, man. 22 lands in our deck. We have 18 non-isolated chapel lands. I'd much rather be on the draw with this hand. I think we're going to mulligan. The risk is just too high. We only have 18 hits, and even if we hit one, the hand's not like... No, there's no Venerated Loxodon, there's no Unbreakable Formation. The hand is good, but it's not worth the risk here. On the draw, I might keep. On the play, we're going to mulligan. Alright. It's fine. I don't think we need a second Unbreakable Formation. We just need more threats at the moment. So, we'll just chapel. In case you want to play this Unclaimed Territory on turn 2. Ooh, a little tribal battle. Okay. Tribal battle it is. Need Adanto Vanguard. Unbreakable Formation will be very, very good in any sort of creature matchup, which is good for us. Adanto Vanguard's not as good, but... Yeah. Godless Shrine. Okay. Yeah, we're just gonna slam. We'll play Midnight Reaper as they go. We'll play the Zealot the following turn. Hopefully draw a 1 or 2 drop. Definitely hurts to not have a 1 drop in a matchup like this. Typically tribal mirrors are predicated on just who can go bigger and wider faster. They're not going to have any removal in their deck. We have a few removal spells, but not much. Unfortunately, our cast downs can't kill Kumena. Clap at me? Kumena just clapped at us. Alright, so this is fine. They're putting the counter over here, so... An unbreakable Formation will allow us to attack through the 2/4. They're just going to sit back and draw cards. Speak of the devil. Well, there's your cast down. So, now we have the option of just casting this cast down, making them decide if they want to draw a card or not take damage, and just playing the Dusk Legion Zealot. I think we're going to lead on the Zealot, though. We'll start with a card draw and see what turns up, and then go from there. So, nothing crazy. We're definitely casting cast down. The question is, do we want to kill a 3/3 or the Deep Root Elite? Deep Root Elite can obviously get out of hand pretty fast, but... Yeah, they have 3 cards, they're going to draw a card. The Elite's probably the worst card for us. So yeah, we're gonna cast down on the Elite. Don't think the 3/3 matters that much because, frankly, we have Unbreakable Formation and a bit larger creatures, so make them decide if they want to draw a card here with Kumena. Okay, they want to not take the damage, so that's fine for us. So let's pass turn. We have Formation all set. Hopefully we draw a 1 or 2 drop next turn, so we can pump that up too. Guess who's back? Back again. Oh my god. Alright, this is pretty good. Making Kumena a 3/5 is pretty big. They have a 4/4 now too. Yeah, our hand's not feeling super great. Just haven't put enough stuff in play. I guess Skymarcher Aspirant's not the worst. It's actually really good. The flying is going to be hugely relevant. So we'll cast Unbreakable Formation, we'll attack, we'll get in for at least 4. We'll have a 3-power flyer, and we'll hope we can overcome the card advantage that Commander will bring. Commander is so good. Yep, they take 4. Not ideal, but definitely seen better attacks. But for now, it'll have to do. Flying over and killing them with Skymarcher Aspirant is honestly a pretty real thing. Having played this Merfolk deck, Merfolk deck doesn't really have any good ways to answer flyers. Card's good too. This Merfolk deck's cool. I've played it a bit. I actually played it in a video maybe a month or so ago. Definitely impressed me. Some surprisingly good synergies. Deck draws cards well. Commander is just so good. Alright, I mean, it's not the end of the world, but it's not particularly good. Would have preferred a permanent that wasn't a land. But, oh my god, they have Merfolk Trickster too. Alright, we are dead. They get to eat my Skymarcher Aspirant for free, tap their entire team and pump it, and we're probably just dead in a turn. Alright, there's no way out here. Alright, so, like I said, in a tribal mirror, it's all about who can go wide better, and they did a much better job of that than us. So now when we're sideboarding here, we decide exactly what we want to do. Do we want to go a little bigger? It honestly feels like they're a better go wide deck than we are. So we might be interested in like cutting some of our weaker ground creatures, bringing in Lyras and Ajanis and cast downs and Mortifies and trying to play more of like a mid-range game. Cards like Midnight Reaper aren't super effective. Vicious Conquistador is probably just going to get stonewalled. I think we're gonna go a little bigger here. So we're gonna want the removal spells. We're gonna want Lyra. We're gonna want Ajani, and it's 8 cards we're bringing in. We're gonna want to cut the Midnight Reapers, the Mavrein Fain. Also, getting through on the ground is gonna be tough. Although I guess our flyers, we'll have 6 flyers for Mavrein. That's actually not bad. Making a vampire token every turn off a flyer is pretty good. Sanctum Seeker is interesting because they can't really kill it, but it is certainly kind of clunky. We're going to cut the Conquistadors. Let's cut the Seekers too. We're already raising our curve a good amount. We're going to leave in Venerated Loxodon, even though it's not as good, because we're cutting the 1-drops. I think keeping the pump effects to make our flyers bigger and to make our Adanto Vanguard a little bigger is reasonable. Even though it's not going to be ideal. I think that just trying to make a flyer, make it big, and kill them is a reasonable plan of action, while occasionally killing some creatures, so this works for me. It is weird to cut Sanctum Seeker against a deck that can't probably kill it. Just the fear is that it just won't affect the board enough, and we're not going to be able to have enough good attacks where it'll matter. Alright, so this hand's pretty good. Obviously, the old Lyra Venerated Loxodon 5-drop combo is not exactly where you want to be, but we have Skymarcher into Vanguard, and then Loxodon. And then, the game slows down a bit, we'll play some Lyra. Lyra Dawnbringer and Venerated Loxodon. That's still a better love story than Twilight. Get it? That's a vampire reference. I'm a vampire. I'm full of them. So, interestingly enough here, if we attack with our Skymarcher, will they block? They probably will, honestly. Biomancer is good, but if they properly recognize the matchup, they'll understand that this flying is so important. We're not going to be at City's Blessing for a while, though. We currently only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like 7-ish permanents. All right, we're gonna attack. Just offer the trade. We're playing a little more towards Lyra now, even with our 4th land especially. So let's keep things under control a bit. Adanto Vanguard, of course, attacks well. Let's try and keep their board under control. Obviously, it's very awkward to make that play with Venerated Loxodon in our hand, but right now this is Savannah Lions. Silver Gill's good. Kamena is also good. Alright. So by getting rid of that Biomancer, we make their Kamena worse here on turn 3. You know, again, these tribal decks are all about critical mass. So keeping that critical mass down, you know, we're not going to win the tribal war, it feels like. The old Unclaimed Territory mirror match. So hopefully we'll draw a 1 or 2 drop next turn. We'll play Loxodon, build a bit of a board, and then we'll get Lyra online the turn after. That's interesting. They have a 1-drop also? Okay. So far, nothing that can stop my Adanto Vanguards, which is good. Alright, so there's an Aspirant. Definitely a spot where Unbreakable Formation feels a little better than Venerated Loxodon. You know, we're currently split 2-2, but this is still fine. No. I have 8 permanents. We have a pretty good attacking force next turn, which is good. And ideally, we just draw a land and cast Lyra. I mean, any spell is fine too, so 3-5, sure. I mean, they don't really have any good attacks, so. Alright, we're definitely slamming Lyra. The question is, do we want to fire in for an attack or not? Probably not. We'll see what this is. 5. Lyra's actually 10 permanents, so. So the Skymarcher will get to get in no matter what. We could get really frisky and just attack with everything. And then if they block Kamena, just pay 4 life on Adanto. It's actually a pretty good attack. And we'll have Lyra back on defense. I doubt they have any way to really interact with Lyra. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's pretty risky. Yeah, we're going to die with the Skymarcher. If we pay 4 life to keep this alive, they definitely have draws where if they can bounce this and then pump something up, we could just die. So we'll just sit here and let Lyra take over the game. They're dead in 2 turns. I doubt they have many ways to deal with Lyra. Unbreakable Formation would be a fantastic draw next turn. Benthic Biomancer, you got it. Play all the merfolk you want. So we can see we're getting outclassed on the ground once again, but now we have our sideboard plan in motion, and they're dead in 2 turns. We're gaining some life. Comes down to trump blocking, it's fine too. No merfolk trickster to be worried about, which is good. Yeah, Commando's really good. Definitely a really cool synergy. Benthic Biomancer, fine card by itself, but plays really, really well with all the merfolk +1/+1 counter shenanigans. Card's really cool. Like this card a lot. Right. Well, they are dead on board, and we are not. So hopefully things stay that way. Cards we're scared of are essentially just merfolk trickster, and then maybe like some sort of bounce spell or control magic or something. Again, Unbreakable Formation would be really, really good. Well, I guess maybe at this point their creatures are too big. They can just survive once they pump one more time. Alright, so that's pretty scary. It looks like they're repping a merfolk trickster. I think we're still attacking, though, because we have them dead in 2 turns with Skymarcher anyway. But let's just draw a card first and see what happens. Draw a Mortify or something will feel pretty good. That plays. Okay. Can't afford to not attack. Commander really messes the math up. 4, 4, 3, 6. We could attack with some Adanto Vanguards also, as we can cast down this Merfolk Mistbinder and shrink their squad. They're going to repump the squad, so everything will be the same size that it is right now. Let me get this. Theoretically, they're gonna trickster here and then try and block Lyra and kill it. Yeah, I'm gonna make some more attacks. Maybe this is a little aggressive, but drawing cast down is pretty ideal. All of our creatures are gonna be a little smaller than they think they're gonna be, and we're expecting to walk into trickster here anyway. So, okay. This makes it harder for them to just, put a bunch of creatures on Lyra and kill it easily, because they have to block other stuff too. So, this is certainly aggressive, but we have 2 blockers on the way back. We're also going to kill some stuff too, which is nice. So we're going to pay 8 life and kill these two merfolk, and that's great. Because remember, we have them dead on board next turn anyway. So we're putting the pressure on them, which feels pretty good. We're not going to be able to kill Kamena, which sucks a little, but... Alright, so that's fine. We got to order the 3/3 first, so you can't kill Kamena. We're going to cast down the Merfolk Mistbinder. And we're going to pay a lot of life to our Adanto Vanguards. Keep them around. Kill their creatures. A lot of their stuff's going to die here, so they're not going to have enough to kill us in the backswing, and we still have a flyer creating lethal. So that pumps the squad, they get to loot. Then the squad will shrink because the Merfolk Mistbinder dies. We pay some life. dust settles, a lot of stuff dies, and we still have a flyer in play. Works for me. Pretty good combat for us. Cool. So if they had their only answer to Skymarcher is probably a second Trickster, and now we had lethal across multiple creatures, so we were in good shape. So pretty happy with how that game played out. Went according to plan for the most part. Yikes. That is not where we are at. One creature, an Unbreakable Formation. Not a very good combo. So we got a mulligan again. It's fine. It's not great, but it's fine. Not really an unbreakable hand either. Only have one small creature. We have a flyer. Way to pump it up. Fortunately, if their hand is good, our hand is pretty slow. Has no removal spells. It's pretty heavily reliant on Lyra. But at the moment, there's not really much we can do. So, alright. Yeah, this is, no more lands, please. We got our 5 for Lyra. We're good to go. Deep Root Waters. That card is pretty good. Especially with the Mistbinder in play. Alright, I guess Legion Lieutenant's not bad. Problem is, we need a way to kill this Mistbinder, or these tokens are going to get really, really out of hand. I mean, honestly, we're just playing Ajani and slamming Lyra, so it's not really that bad. Kamena notwithstanding this turn. Okay, that's Kamena's Speaker, not Kamena proper. It's going to be hard to defend. Oh my god. I'm not sure if we can beat this hand. Yeah, defending our Ajani seems very, very difficult. I think we still play it just to pump our creatures and buy some time. But, yeah. They've gotten the jump on us pretty good here, but their hand is pretty solid. One of the good things about a matchup like this is that we have removal spells and they don't. So we should be able to kill their lords and they can't kill our lords. As we saw last game, that was a pretty big thing, but they draw 2 lords, we don't draw any removal spells. Kind of mitigates that advantage. So we're all in on Lyra next turn. I don't even know if Lyra's enough to overcome this board, though. My creatures, they're tapped. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Dead. Alright. Just dead on turn 5. That was a good hand. Alright, so Merfolk seems tough, honestly. They just go wider a lot better than us. And we're not as fast as White Weenie. We do have the removal spells, but you know you got to draw them. So that was that's kind of a tough one. We lost the Ixalan Tribal Showdown, unfortunately, but let's keep rolling. Definitely, our hands were not great in games 1 and 3. One of the things I like about this deck is it's playing a lot of 1-drops, so it can curve out pretty fast. We didn't really do that too much. We did board out some 1-drops, of course, in the second and third game. We drew the Lyra, but if we had a kill spell or two to kill those lords, things might have been okay actually, because we would have gotten to Lyra, but they killed us real fast. Mulligan. It's fine. Yeah, it makes it better. It makes it better. Now we got a little curve going here. Watery Grave? Sure. Interesting. Hinterland Harbor, Watery Grave. Usually they're playing Sultai, they usually have a creature of some kind. Alright. Not really sure what our opponent's doing. I mean, we're just going to keep jamming, so Plus they have Cry of the Carnarium. Midnight Reaper will insulate us against any sort of weird mass removal, which is good. Sure. Alright, I mean, kind of doing our thing here. They are dead on board. Alright, maybe they just have a really weird Sultai hand, I guess. I mean, yeah, sure. They have their own cast down. It's whatever. They don't, there's dead, so. Alright. Pretty weird game there. Opponent just didn't really do much. I'm not complaining, you know, it's fine. But so I guess if they're playing Sultai, we're gonna just assume, yeah, they're assuming just playing Sultai. They had a really weird hand. We're gonna want to cut the Mavrein Fain. It's gonna be hard to get through on the ground. We're all the Ajanis for sure, and probably a few extra removal spells. Make sure we can keep Wildgrowth Walker in check. I don't actually hate Champion of Dusk. You want to keep things fairly aggressive still. We cut 2 copies of Vicious Conquistador on the draw, as they gum the ground up a little bit. Can't cut too many of our 1-drops though, or our cards kind of stop working. Right now we only have 5 answers to a Wildgrowth Walker. Interesting. Definitely some tension here because the cards that make the deck good, like Unbreakable Formation and Loxodon, aren't playing as well when we sideboard. Alright, let's cut. Like, the more spells we have in our deck, the worse they get. Alright, we're gonna cut 2. We'll cut 2 Conquistadors. Maybe we actually don't want Sanctum Seeker. Just bad against removal. Yeah, actually, let's cut Sanctum Seeker. I'll bring up 2 Mortifies. Sanctum Seeker is just weak against all their kill spells. It's a little slow. And it's going to be hard for us to kind of alpha into their probably congested board, so. Alright, that's mulligan. Sure. Alright, it's not great, but. Oh. I should have decided if I was playing Landing or Cast or Skymarcher first here. They're likely to play a creature to block with, so our Landing probably won't get through. I guess it's just Suntail Hawk. Could have played the Unclaimed Territory, I guess, but I'm gonna kill my Skymarcher. Okay. Loxodon's a pretty good draw. It is obviously awkward that we don't have any more creatures in our hand, but we can hopefully find one next turn and have a reasonable Loxodon turn. We draw like a Lord or like, I guess a Lord wouldn't do it. Right? It's 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it needs to be a 1-drop to cast Loxodon next turn. Lebrontodon James. That is not a creature. Alright, I mean, I guess we're just casting Loxodon anyway. Putting a 4/4 in play on this board is pretty good. It also works to flip our Landing, so. Alright, we're in a bit of trouble here. Maybe we've gone a little too hard on the removal spells. stinks is you don't really want that much removal against this deck, but the Wild Growth Walkers must be killed. So kind of weird they would kill the Lifelinker token over the 2/2 flyer, but alright. It's weird. I don't really want to kill a 2/2 Hydroid Crisis. I think we are way behind in this game. I guess I do. That was a good draw if we could cast it. But we can't cast it, so it's not a good draw. Unclaimed Territory. How you mock me. I mean, it's a little weird they would attack with Brontodon, then play Vivian. Nibble Walker. Oh boy. So we can kill the Branch Walker and attack the Vivian. We can't kill it though, even if we draw a white land for this. This is not a good scenario either way. Legion Lieutenant. No point in trading off my 2/2. Rather just try and flip landing next turn.
Most wounds can heal. Come to me.
Another Wild Growth Walker. And a Hostage Shaker. Alright, we are getting severely outclassed here. The Sultai deck is quite good against White Weenie, and we're feeling that same heat right now. Just Hostage Taker, removal spells, Wild Growth Walker. We have no copies of Takali Honor Guard in our sideboard. That's the card that White Weenie usually uses against this deck. Alright, yeah, we're going to go to the next game here. It's not really a way to come back from this. They just have us covered on basically every angle. Alright, maybe we just need to be more aggressive. I think the Mortifies were a mistake. I don't think we can afford to try and grind with this deck. We just need to kill them. Although I still think Ajani is better than Sanctum Seeker. Ajani is very important for getting your creatures above 4 toughness against Finality, so you can pump once or twice and get them up there. Sanctum Seeker just plays into Finality pretty badly. Alright, nice good hand here. Couple 1-drops. Unbreakable Formation or Loxodon. Let's go. Jeez. Alright, we're going to keep... that's super awkward. Alright, we're going to keep it though. Can't not keep a land. Alright, so... a little awkward with the Swamp and the white 1-drops. We got our 1-drop hand we wanted, but... and they have a Lana Elf. They also got their 1-drop hand they wanted. Yeah. Alright. Adanto Vanguard, do some work. Cast down. Alright, we're going to play Zealot here and hope we draw a white land. I don't think Skymarcher Aspirant or Legion's Landing matters that much on this board. Alright, we did not, so, alright. Okay. Now I'm pretty happy just casting this Midnight Reaper. Means we get an attack with a Zealot pretty happily. Next turn we have Legion's Landing flip. We can cast down also. We have Skymarcher. We're looking pretty good here. They have a Hostage Taker. We have a... Nope, they have a Contempt. Sure. Triple 1-drop. Alright. Let's put an Unbreakable Formation on top of our deck. That's a block. That's what I want to see. And no Cry the Carnarium. Please. A 3/3 Hydroid Crisis. They have Finality, we're probably in pretty big trouble, but... Alright, I mean, I don't think we have a choice. We really have a choice. So, they have Finality, we're probably just dead, but... Them's the breaks, honestly. Our hand does not give us the opportunity to really play around it. We slam for a bunch. They go to 3. We have Adanto flipped. Finality or bust. That's definitely Finality. Alright. Adanto the first 4. You have some work to do. Honestly, Suntail Hawk ain't too bad here. So, hopefully there's no follow-up Hydroid Crisis. That's just as bad. Yeah, these Sultai decks are very, very effective against the White Weenie decks. That's not bad. No Hydroid Crisis. No Hydroid Crisis. I spoke too soon. I spoke too soon. Oh my god, they have Wild Growth Walker too? Alright, folks. I think the writing's on the wall here. Our top card is not good. We are in pretty big trouble. I'm not sure what our top card can be, honestly. That beats the Walker in play and the Hydroid Crisis in their hand. Yeah, that's still not good. Crisis for 5. I mean, yeah, I'm just gonna kill this. Hope we draw a way to kill this and get in for 4, I guess. We are not in good shape. There's not a way to kill the Wild Growth Walker. And that's the game. Alright, so Sultai is just pretty good against the white aggro decks, unfortunately. Had to mulligan a few times also. A little awkward hands here and there, but that's definitely a tough matchup. Come on, vampires. Show us what you got here. You're better than this. Yeah, Sultai just has all the tools against the kind of mopey aggro decks. Just have life gain, removal, mass removal, card draw, just basically everything. Hostage Taker's so good too. Alright, let's keep a 7 here. We're keeping a 7. Sign me up. Suppose I could have territoried, but we're going to shock off this at some point anyway, so. Memorial to Genius. Alright, so they're probably playing that Simic Nexus deck. That's fine. Our hand's pretty aggressive. We don't really have any way to interact with them, but we're on the play with a pretty fast start. Alright. Legion Lieutenant at the ready. Next turn we attack for 3, 6, 9, and 11, 12, 13. And we're lethal next turn, so. Root Snare bust, my friend. Ooh, Venerated Loxodon. I mean, Venerated Loxodon's not really relevant here. We already have lethal damage. They have a fog, it's fine. I mean, they're going to need to chain together a lot of fogs over the next many turns, or they're going to need to cast Nexus of Fate a bajillion times. Which honestly could happen if they just... Nope, they're dead. They just had Reclamation that turn, plus a fog, and then they start going off. Alright, so... we're going to cut... So we want Demystify, Mortify, and Duress. We're going to want to cut... I want to cut the things that don't kill quickly. I think that Dusk Legion Zealot can go. Midnight Reaper's not very good here either. I don't think I want Tribunal either. And then I think this is fine. Reaper and Zealot are more of our grindy cards. We're not looking to grind here, we're looking to kill our opponent. We still have his cast downs here. What are they doing here? Alright, so let's leave the let's leave 2 Zealots in. So we have a Demystify and 2 Mortifies. You know, they're likely to bring in some sort of creature, so maybe Mortify answers that, or it answers Search for Azcanta, or the other one. I'm pretty happy with this. I could see maybe having Tribunal in over Dusk Legion Zealot, just as a way to interact with possible creatures or enchantments. Actually, you know what? Yeah, I think I like that. They're not going to be killing our creatures, so... everything we play is going to stick. So it's not like we need that many creatures. We still have our good payoffs. We have all our Duresses. This is like a little... yeah, you know what? Actually, we have 4 Duress. Yeah, let's leave the Zealots in. I'm trying to make sure I have enough bodies to actually kill them. We have 4 Duress, a Demystify, and 2 Mortifies as our interaction, which is pretty good. And of course our clock is pretty quick too. And Sanctum Seeker and Vicious Conquistador are pretty good against fogs too, so... yeah, that works for me. All 1-drops all day. Oh, okay. Well, if they're playing red, that changes everything. So that's bad. But nothing to do about it now. They have, you know, Fiery Cannonade, things like that. That definitely changes essentially everything. But I don't think our hand can really afford to play around Fiery Cannonade, so I think we're just going to ship it. Usually if they're playing Memorial Genius, they're not playing Fiery Cannonade, but... or not playing red. Alright. Okay. I can buy everything that's happening right now. They take 9. We flip our thing. They're dead next turn. No Fiery Cannonade, please. Imagine if they had, they would have done it last turn. So... we're definitely shoving all in here, but... seems like a pretty binary set of options. Either they have Cannonade or Reclamation into Cannonade, or they don't. I mean, if they have a removal spell, that's fine too, but there aren't really many options. So, or Fog. So, alright, cool. Nice fast win there. Again, our deck is pretty quick, which is nice. So 1 and 2, we lost to a Merfolk deck, which seemed kind of tough, and a Sultai deck, which seemed kind of tough. And then we ran over a, I guess, Teamer Reclamation deck, which is good. It's possible they were just playing like a few red sources as a way to use Expansion Explosion's explosion effect, because playing Memorial Genius in your 3-color deck is tough. So they might have just been like blue-green with like 2 Stomping Grounds or 3 Stomping Grounds to use the damage effect on Explosion later in the game when they're going crazy and untapping lands and stuff. Because without removal, that deck probably can't ever kill us. Awkward. Looks good until you realize the Isolated Chapel comes in tapped, but I think we're still fine here. We're on the draw. Any land makes the hand awesome, and even without a land, it's still okay. So we'll probably just tap land on 1, and then Aspirant landing on 2. We'll see what we draw. Alright, Conquistador changes things, because now I have multiple 1-drops to play. We could go Territory Skymarcher, and then Conquistador. Let's see if we draw land. Alright. Ideally, we just draw a Godless Shrine next turn. I can just do everything. That'd be cool. Chess guy. Treasure map. Ooh, what's going on here? Alright. Maybe a Deafening Clarion in our future, but we can't go too defensive here. Loxodon plays around Deafening Clarion really, really well. So, if we draw a land, we can go Legion's Landing, Loxodon, which feels nice. Fancy opt. Sweet. Okay. So, I'm a vampire. I think I like just landing Loxodon. I missed the land drop, which is pretty big, but we were definitely concerned with the card Deafening Clarion, so I think just getting the 4/4 in play is great. And then if they have it, we still have the 4/4. If they don't have it, we have a bunch of power, and we're flipping landing, so then we can rebuild with our Duskblades and Zealots and Lieutenant. Like, that's a lot of power, you know? Alright, so they didn't upkeep, they just drew. Meaning they were trying to maybe draw land for a Clarion. Alright, Adanto Vanguard's also pretty good. The question now is, do I want to Legion Lieutenant or not? Obviously, Vanguard living through Clarion is great. If I Lieutenant, I'll get in for 7, 8, 9, 10 damage. That is pretty good. If I don't, I only get in for 8. That math isn't not right. 3, 6, 7, 8, or 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's 11 damage with the Lieutenant. I get a 7. Let me go for it. Slam, flip landing, play Vanguard. Now they literally have to draw land this turn or they're dead. And if they do draw the land, we still have an Adanto Vanguard trying to kill them. So, because they're at 7, we play some Zealots and rebuild. I like that. So, some sort of control deck. I'm going to assume we don't want these cast downs. I'm going to assume we want some Duresses and probably Ajani. Don't think we want Sanctum Seeker. Skymarcher can probably go to. I don't think we want Loxodon either. I mean, Loxodon's weird because it forces you to overcommit, but it does play really well against Clarion. I think you actually do want that. Tribunal's an interesting one. I want these Champion of Dusk too. Is cutting Unbreakable Formation reasonable? We gotta strike the balance between having enough creatures for our payoffs to be good, but also having the payoffs. I'm gonna just bring in the Champion of Dusk. I think our fear is Niv Mizzet, but if they get to the point of having Niv Mizzet and they can tap out for it, and we can't kill them that turn, we're probably in trouble anyway. I don't think holding on to a Tribunal for 100 turns is going to make that much better. So, let's lean on our Duresses and our Ajanis and our Champion of Dusk here. We're not really sure what they're doing, honestly. I mean, they did show treasure map and lands. I assume there's some sort of control deck. But the one-landers. You're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me. Sure. That play's fun. Alright, actual negate. What's the actual deal here? Bird. Discovers. Maybe they're more of like a Drake's deck. They bend a Lava Coil. That's pretty telling. We're looking for lands or something. Alright, Reaper's pretty sweet. Definitely like Reaper a lot. Question is, do you want a Lieutenant here or Zealot? Zealot plays around Deafening Clarion a lot better. I think we're going to Zealot. Try and wait till we have Reaper on the board. The Clarion here, it's like a 1-for-1, which is fine. Letting them kill our 1-drop and our good 2-drop with Clarion's tough, and now you get to play Reaper and put them in a tougher spot, which is good. It is 2 less power in play, but we gotta pace ourselves here, you know? They bend a Lava Coil too. So, I mean, they might already have a Lava Coil, but alright, they bend another Discovery. Alright, Reaper it is. I mean, we get to Loxodon next turn. If they play like a Drake or something. They have a Lava Coil, it's annoying, but I'll make it work. Charter Course. Charter Course. Discard Demystify? Maybe they think we're a History of Benalia deck, maybe? Adanto Vanguard's also pretty good. We can't Venerated Loxodon. We could. We could just like Loxodon right now. I don't hate that. The problem is we have all 2-drops, so like if we can't double spell. I would love to play spell into Loxodon, especially Adanto Vanguard, but I think we're trying to Loxodon now. Insulate ourselves from Clarion a little bit. We have 9 power in play. If only we had an Aether Vial, you know? Alright, Crackling Drake is here. I wouldn't mind a land here, honestly. Just go double Lieutenant, attack with everything. It's fine. Oh my god. What's worse than 1 Deafening Clarion? 2 Deafening Clarions. Oh god. This is really bad for us. If they only had 1 Deafening Clarion, this would be fine. But now they get to attack and gain a bajillion life and kill most of our stuff. Oh god, and we kind of like just have to play into it. This is bad. All right, we get in for 8 here. We just gain 8 back, get 9 back, 10 back. Oh my god, this is bad. I mean, they're almost surely gonna cast it next turn. Let's just attack for 4 and not play anything. I should probably play the Dusk Legion Zealot just to like draw a card. Whoa, what? I am astounded. Just floored. What could they possibly be thinking? They have Deafening Clarion and Crackling Dream. They have their combo assembled. It's what their deck is supposed to do. Yeah, opt away. I am dumbfounded. I just could have just gone to 9 and then gained like 10 life. I don't know. There's no way they could be afraid of us killing their Drake because we would have killed it pre-combat, you know? Like, alright. I mean, look, I'm not gonna... I'm gonna live my life. They're gonna live their life, you know? Wow. That is wild. They still have Nova in their hand. They have Fire. And 2 mystery cards. Adanto Vanguard to do some work here. We're probably going to play Zealot and try and play Lieutenant also. Just to force the Wrath, get some more damage in with our Vanguard. That's not bad, honestly. Alright, what's up? Shock, Spell Pierce, Fight with Fire, Cleansing Nova. So, I think I want to just take the Shock. Both Fight with Fire and Shock deal with Lieutenant anyway, but they're much clunkier and they can't double spell. I kind of want them as Wrath next turn, honestly, so let's take the fancy looking Shock. We'll just play Lieutenant, force them to Wrath. They could Wrath or they could Fight with Fire. Get it for 4. Let's say go. Spell Pierce is weird too. Yeah, this is fine. So they fire this. They still have a Wrath. I still have his Adanto Vanguard. So now the question is, how much do I want them to cast this Wrath? I don't think I really do, honestly. Okay. So they're at 6. I'm gonna play the Conquistador, make them cast a Wrath, so I can cast Mavrein next turn. So now I have lethal on board. They have to Wrath, and then I attack for 3 and play Mavrein. And then follow it up with Lieutenant. No, you. Feels pretty good. Now we're lethal across multiple creatures with our Lieutenant. Draw land. I guess Ajani's not going to do much against the Spell Pierce, but sure. And you're dead. That creature is really large, but unless you drew a Shock. Alright, well, that's pretty fortunate. Now you lose. We went from unable to lose to unable to win real fast. I guess it isn't that bad. We can pay 4 life. They have to block. But in that case, I think I'd rather just play Ajani. Let's see. So we can Ajani ++. They have to block. We pay 4. We gain 2. We go to 1. We're still in good shape here, actually. It's fine. And they are tapped out. Yes.
Strength is born of struggle.
Alright, so they go to 1Zs, and we are at 6. No Banefire. It's a fairy. Sure. I don't think the fairy matters very much.
I know my responsibility. Hold that thought.
Unless they have Settle the Wreckage. Nope. Okay. So, it worked out pretty well. We paced our threats pretty good. Now we are 2-2. Going for that sweet 3-2. With our Vampires deck. Deck's pretty sweet. Definitely Venerated Loxodon is one of my favorite Magic cards printed in the last like 5 years. Card's just super awesome. Yeah. Double Sanctum Seeker is a little awkward, but this is fine. 2 lands, 1 drop, 2 drop, card draw, Loxodon. There's some tension with Sanctum Seeker. You know, the problem is that Sanctum Seeker is not necessarily bad, but it is competing with cards like Venerated Loxodon and that's bad. And Unbreakable Formation, and 4 mana is a lot. Okay. I mean, Sultai seems to be tough for us, but that's a Wildgrowth Walker. That's a go. So we can Loxodon here, or we can just cast down the Wildgrowth Walker. Cast downing Walker actually sets us up for Sanctum Seeker next turn, which I kind of don't mind. I think our Loxodon can be better anyway. We can be a little greedier with it. I'm a vampire! I'm a vampire! Oh, they're likely to have a good blocker this turn. Or nah. Alright. So, they're more likely to have a cast down, but I think we just ship it. We could go Lieutenant into Loxodon. Which will probably force them to use cast down on Lieutenant or the Loxodon itself. And then Seeker the following turn. Actually, I like that better. Another option would be to try and get Seeker in play and then use Loxodon to get it to 5 toughness to play around Finality. But this is a pretty big attack this turn. They didn't have a cast down either, so without a cast down, like, we're about to go bananas. Yeah, you did. Wow. All the partiers. Yeah, you did. Any order you want, Arena. You pick the order. Surprise me. Yeah. It was good for me, too. Ended up being a pretty good draw, not gonna lie. Alright, so Sultai. We want the Ajanis and the cast down. I want to cut Mavrein and probably 2 Conquistadors. Just don't get through on the ground very well. Champion of Dusk. Problem is the 4 toughness is tough. 5 toughness is the magical number. And we can use cards like Ajani and Loxodon in formation to try and get our creatures there, but I think tapping 5 mana for a 4/4 is just not good, despite drawing cards being good. It's possible Mortify is better than Tribunal. Tribunal can answer a Vivian Reed Mortify is a little trickier. Nah, Tribunal's better. Alright. You could, like, maybe try to make an argument for Duress, try and hit Finality, but the problem is, like, we have Duress, we're a little slower, and they just beat us with Hydroid Crisis and Hostage Taker. The Sand is fine. The 1-drop's kind of loose, but it's still pretty good. Lieutenant. Just draw 1-drop too, you know? I'm a vampire. No. Adanto Vanguard is pretty sweet. Not gonna lie. Double Watery Grave? That's an opening. Kind of an interesting choice next turn. We're playing Lieutenant, we're playing Zealot. I mean, they're doing nothing. So we're just going to play the Zealot. Might have some sort of removal spell here. I'm not going to expose our Lieutenant to it. Just going to give them no good options. They have a cast down. Just no good targets for it. Zealot's pretty cool. Loxodon is not a bad draw either. Probably going to be putting ourselves in a spot where we want to see if we can get Sanctum Seeker to a 5 toughness. The problem is they just probably still have this cast down we've been talking about. So if I cast Sanctum Seeker here, it probably just dies. Alright, let's play our Lord and force the issue at that. They'll probably cast down it. They'll take 4. I guess we could Loxodon here too. Maybe that's actually just better. We Loxodon, they kill our Lieutenant, and we have a 4/4, a 4/2, and a 2/2. The problem is then if we Sanctum Seeker, they just Finality the crap out of us. If we try and Sanctum Seeker next turn, and then Loxodon the turn after, they can still Finality us. Alright, let's just do it. Sure. It's a little interesting to target that, not the Lieutenant. It means probably have some blocker action. Ho, ho, ho. Ritual of Soot. Hello. How do you do? That is not good for us. Lieutenant. Alright. So, we're in the awkward spot of getting blown out by Finality. I don't think we can really afford to play around it. Ritual of Soot took a lot of the wind out of our sails, you know? We should have a ship here. Against any non-Finality play, we have a pretty good attack next turn. Ritual of Soot's kind of brutal. Wild Growth Walker? Alright. Alright. Branch Walker, of course, is not nearly as bad as Jade Light Ranger. Top card's a land, which might be bad. Somebody might give them the 6th land for Finality, but they shocked. That's really bad. That means they probably have a cast down. Two, 2. So now it comes down to the question of, can we beat Finality? They're probably going to cast down my Sanctum Seeker. So if they do that and they Finality next turn, can we win? So I want to shove everything here. I think if they have Finality, they probably don't even bother shocking, maybe? No, because if we get this to 5 toughness, they probably... If they have it, they have it. I think it's as simple as that. We have them dead in basically 2 turns here. Take out the walker, try and attack for a lot, and just hope they don't have finality. Yeah, we get it. We understand. Alright. Get him for 5. Please don't. Alright, they didn't block, which means they don't have finality, so. Whew. It's about the hardest side eye I can give. Why didn't you block? It's gonna die anyway. Oh boy. Oh boy. I don't know if we can beat Ritual of Soot and Finality in the same game. I might have held this too. I could have just like bought back their Wildgrowth Walker then cast this. Yeah. This is much better. Not sure. We need to draw some pretty good stuff here. But
How this meet, my newest friend.
oh boy. Alright. Alright. Tough game. I don't know if we can realistically play around finality. We could have like not played that stuff, but then we have to leave the. We could have just like killed the walker maybe. Maybe we could have played around finality. Maybe I didn't need to play all that stuff. It's tough though because the longer you give them, the more chances they have to just like draw Hydroid Crisis or draw finality or draw whatever. All right. For game 3 here, we're back on the play. So putting Conquistador back in isn't crazy to me, but I think this is fine. I think we're alright. It's a hard matchup, but on the play we'll see what we can do, you know? Ritual of Soot's pretty tough. That's a hard one to play around. I used to play one Ritual in my Soul Die deck. It was a really good card. Just super hard for your opponent to play around. Alright, triple 1-drop, Reaper, Seeker, pretty good. Can't complain about this hand, that's for sure. If they have Ritual of Soot, I mean, I guess we have Midnight Reaper, but... Alright, so we are not going to offer the trade here, because we want to have the ability to flip landing. Also have Midnight Reaper, so if we draw land, we can make trades even worse for them. Land. That is not a land. Alright, so we'll trade. Flip landing. It's fine. Would have loved to play a Reaper that turn. No block is kind of sketch. Means they have an important 4-drop. Could have Ritual of Soot. Could have Hostage Taker. We're going to play the Midnight Reaper. Plays around Ritual of Soot pretty well. And then makes our attacks better next turn also. Alright, so no removal spell in sight for that Wildgrowth Walker, which isn't good for us. So we're one short of City's Blessing if we play the Sanctum Seeker. I think we're just grinding through here. I think we're going to cast this Dusk Legion Zealot and play Legion's Landing and just get the city's Blessing. Attack with Skymarcher and try and set up for next turn. Or just draw cast down, that'd be sweet. I'll take it. Alright, we are exposing our Skymarcher to a trade now, but it's fun. Alright. I think the Reaper stays home. I don't want to trade Reaper for a Branch Walker. Reaper's too good. Cool. Take our 2-for-1, draw a card. We got Sanctum Seeker at the ready. Sure.
I didn't go through hell to lose to you.
Let's see. So, yeah, we're just dramming Sanctum Seeker. I guess if they have Finality, it isn't even that bad. So we have the Reapers, so it's fine. Reaper's really, really good. Just gonna throw that out there. Also nice here is we have to deal damage to them and also kill Vivian. So, do I want a Legion's Landing? I don't think so, because the token won't draw a card anyway. We'll just hold on to that. So you want to put, I guess everything is attacking Vivian just to kill it. And then we're going to drain them for a lot too. So this is, wait, I just killed them? Hold on a second. Let's, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I can put them to 3. That's not worth it. We'll just kill Vivian. Especially if they have Finality, I can't leave the Vivian in place. This is 3, 4, 5, 6, and they still take much damage from our triggers. You can't risk them having a master removal spell of some kind and then surviving with a Planeswalker in play. It's just too brutal. And with Midnight Reaper insulating us against some master removal spells, Hydroid Creases. Sure. Interesting. I still don't think I want to offer my Reaper up. We are draining them for... They're effectively at 5 when we attack. I guess they're just dead on board, right? I mean, they could have cast down, but they've represented cast down by not playing Krasis for 3 or 4. So, if we assume they have cast down, I guess we'll find out in combat anyway, so I'll just move the combat. See what they do. Nope, we're attacking. So if they had cast down, they'd probably kill Sanctum Seeker pre-combat. I'm just going to slam. Try and kill them. They're at 5, and they can only block 2 things. They go to 5, they block Reaper, they block Sanctum Seeker, they go to 2, then they get to untap and Finality with no benefit to us. Alright, we're going to leave the Reaper back. They get to eat a creature here, we get to draw a card anyway, so... Sure. So they take 2. We draw a card off our Conquistador. It's plains, just kind of lame. It's fine. We have a Adanto First Fort activation. We could play a Legion's Landing for an extra token, but I don't think we need to do that. We have 4 triggers off of, yeah, there's that on board. We have 4 Sanctum Seeker triggers. And there's dead damage, so works for me. Cool. So Midnight Reaper, as you can see there, really pulls its weight. Midnight Reaper is a really, really good Magic card to creature deck. Alright, even ranked up. Look at that. The ladder reset a few days ago, so we're back in gold. Yeah, Midnight Reaper is great. So that's pretty cool. We beat a bad matchup there. So a rough start. Started out 0-2, and then we 3-0'd the remaining 3 matches with our Vampire deck. Reaper's great. Not super sure about Mavrein Fain. it's kind of cool. It's kind of like a bad Legion War Boss. Against control decks, it can keep making tokens, but it requires a lot more to make the tokens than just itself. It can be awkward against decks that have creatures because like it doesn't attack very well, and the 1/1s don't necessarily matter that much. So I'm not really big on Mavrein. Pretty hype with Sanctum Seeker. Loxodon's great. Formation's great. Reaper's great. Deck's pretty sweet, honestly. It's a fun little deck. Competitive for sure. I don't know if it's gonna win the Pro Tour or anything, but definitely a pretty fun competitive deck. And for all you vampire fans out there, like the Zealots too, it's nice to be able to keep adding to the board while still drawing cards. And then plays very well with Loxodon and so on and so forth. So deck was sweet. Pretty happy with our sideboard plans. It's possible we want some of the 1/3 Honor Guard. Takali Honor Guard for the Sultai matchup, if Sultai is very popular, because it is kind of a tough matchup, and it does a very good job of turning off the Explorer creatures as well as Hostage Taker, which is important. Also getting its Mono Red, turning off Chain Whirler. So might want some of these on the board. The Honor Guard plus Ajani plan has been the White Weenie plan against Sultai for a while. But yeah, deck's pretty sweet. Definitely give it a spin, either on Arena or at a local FNM. While we get excited for War of the Spark. Still some life in vampires, you know? Ixalan tribes kind of caught the short end of a stick a little bit, but they're still there, and they want you to play them. So, get right in. So, hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you follow CoolStuffInc.com here on YouTube. Make sure you check out the article itself that was posted alongside this video on CoolStuffInc.com. If you're watching on YouTube directly, you can go to CoolStuffInc.com, check it out. I do a video every Monday. I do a written article every Friday. You're going to check all of those out, of course. And you can use promo code GYM5 for 5% off your next order at CoolStuffInc.com. That's right. Order $500 worth of cards, 5% off. I can't even do the math. It's so much money. So, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. And until then, vampire it up. I'm a vampire. I'm a vampire. Bye, everyone.